pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Wiki, would you lead us in prayer?
Sure. Let's pray. Lord, we ask that you'd be with us tonight as we have conversations about the city. God, I ask for your wisdom. Pray that you would lead us and guide us tonight, and that you would bless city staff and our first responders. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, City Clerk.
Commissioner Burr.
Here.
Commissioner Boring.
Here.
Commissioner Wiki.
Here.
Commissioner Smith. Commissioner Abs.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Vice Mayor Mullins.
Present.
Mayor Perez.
Present.
I believe Commissioner Smith should be here
Should be
shortly.
right back, yeah. All right, next on the agenda under proclamations and presentations, we have a visitor from SBA. Mr. Bryan, please come to the podium. Did everybody get a packet for the SBA? Okay.
Yes.
Welcome tonight, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. My name is Brian Beard. I'm a public affairs specialist with the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery. And we are here because there was a declaration made in response to the March 6 tornadoes, in Three Rivers and Union City and Cassopolis. And although I realize that you did not have physical damage, thankfully, here in Sturgis, I want to make sure you're aware of the information in case you know of anyone, family or friends, or anyone that did have damage, or also if a small business owner or a private nonprofit had clients or suppliers in the affected area and as a result had a drop in their income and are not as well able to make their monthly bills and expenses, they might be able to get a working capital loan, what we call an economic injury disaster loan, to cover those working expenses until they get back up to speed again. But our low interest loans are available to homeowners, renters, businesses of all sizes, and nonprofits to cover uninsured damages from the disaster on March 6th. And if there were a future disaster, the same thing would be in effect if we do have an SBA agency declaration. For example, there's a lot of flooding that was happening in April, in the western part of the Lower Peninsula. And so it's possible there'll be another declaration for that as well in the coming weeks. But for anyone that is applying for a loan, there's no cost to apply, and there's no payments or interest for the first year of the loan. So you get a full year before you have to start making those payments. Give people a chance to recover. And after that first year with no interest or payments, the interest rate for most homeowners and renters is as low as 2.875%, and for most small businesses at 4%, and then 3.625 for nonprofits. So for example, a $25,000 loan with a 30-year term at that 2.875% would only be about $108 a month. So it's a very, affordable way to get you back to where you were before the disaster. And in the cases of severe damage, such as what happened with the tornado, unfortunately, if the uninsured damage is at least 50% of the value of the home, then it might be possible to get the existing mortgage combined with the new loan, or at least a portion of it up to the same amount as the loan that's approved, to combine it at that lower interest rate with that longer term and with no payments or interest for the first year to make it much more sustainable to bear the cost of that loan on top of the mortgage. And also, some people's homes, if they don't have a full replacement value, they might only get half of their roof covered. If they say the roof is halfway through its life expectancy, the insurance company might only cover half the cost of the roof. Or I spoke with one gentleman from Union City who, even though he did have insurance, because his home was destroyed enough, the money from the insurance first went to pay off the mortgage, and so then he was not left with enough to repair his home. So the deadline is June 29th, but there is a 60-day grace period, so people have extra time to apply through the end of August. You can apply online at lending.sba.gov or call our 800 number, 1-800-659-2955 to learn more information. If somebody is approved for a disaster loan, they can also request an additional 20% of the total estimated damage to be added on to Build Back Stronger to mitigate, against future damage. And there are several steps in the process. So if somebody gets put into withdrawn status, that might just mean that we don't have enough information to fully assess their ability to repay. And so you need to look online to see what information is still needed, or if you got an email, to upload that new information in the online portal before clicking on the button for reconsideration or reacceptance. And if people are applying, they should make sure to include all the assets and income of the adult family members, the spouse in addition to the homeowner, to make sure that we're showing a better capacity to repay that loan. And I also wanted to mention to you that we've organized a small business resources workshop webinar that's going to be June 30th. So this is open to all small business owners, regardless of whether they were affected by the storm, of course. We're going to have the SBA Michigan office, the Small Business Development Center, and SCORE, both of whom are resource partners of SBA that provide free counseling and mentorship to business owners to help with business plans and expansion, et cetera. And there will be no cost to attend. It'll be at Glen Oaks Community College on June 30th from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. And people can apply online or in person, attend in person either way. And we're going to be coming out with a flyer in a couple days, so we'll circulate that to you and to your chamber to get them to try to promote that to all the business owners. So I appreciate your time. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions for Brian? No? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a good one. Next on the agenda is visitor section. If any would like to make a public comment for items not listed on the agenda, please feel free to walk to the podium, state your name and address. You have 2 minutes.
Hello.
Welcome.
My name's Courtney, and I live on Myrtle Street. And so the new parking lot at Eastwood just opened up, and we have kind of a problem on our street now. We have speeders, and it is kind of ridiculous. And so I called the police department this morning to say, hey, this is kind of happening, and they said to show up here and let you guys know.
Okay.
There's a big issue.
Okay.
So I don't know what you can do to slow these people down, but it's 25 miles per hour. It's not 30, 35, it's 25.
Okay. Is that something you'd follow up on?
I'll address it with Ryan.
Oh, Brian just walked?
Ryan.
Ryan?
Just
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll touch base with the police department and see what our plan of attack is or plan of action to address.
Sure.
Eastbound, westbound, both,
Oh,
any time of day,
yeah.
either.
So it's the road that's on the hospital. So I don't know east or west. I don't know.
Going toward the high school?
Oh, going towards Eastwood. It's
Eastwood.
about 8 to 9 in the morning and 2 to 4 in the afternoon, which there's no school, so I don't know who's using it right now, but I think Boys and Girls Club maybe. Oh, and then they have signs in the terrace to point down that direction.
Okay.
Signs for
What kind of signs?
It says Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't know we
We can
had
have
signs
code
in the
enforcement
terrace.
take a look at that.
I thought we couldn't have them there.
Okay, we'll make sure city manager will follow up with our police department. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Anybody else like to make a public comment for items not listed on the agenda? Say your name and address, you have 2 minutes.
Dan Dumont, Tulip Drive. We have the same problem on Cedar Street with speeding, and they go up and down Hatch Street also. They're doing at least 50, maybe faster. This is a continuous thing. I mean, it's not just a one-time deal. It's all the time. But I don't see any police presence, around that area. Of course, you can't. I realize it can't be everywhere at once, but that's a problem also where we live with the speeding.
Okay.
And I have a question about city ordinance. It's my understanding it's a violation of city ordinance to run a backup generator 24/7.
I'd have to rely on Andrew.
I am not familiar, but I can double check. I mean, we
Well,
have
from what I read-
we have noise ordinance issues.
Yeah, from
but-
what I read, it's, if you're hooked up to a backup generator, it's only supposed to be used in a power outage. And there's a house on Hash Street that's running one 24/7, and it's my understanding they're not hooked up to city electric. And
Oh.
from what I read in the city ordinance, if you're not hooked up to a city power source, your house can be deemed uninhabitable or condemned. And I know the neighbor that lives behind him went over there one night for whatever reason. He said he came to the door with headlamps on. So that tells me they're probably not hooked up to city power source.
What was the address, sir?
1209 East Hatch.
That's the house with no power?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Follow up on that.
And it's not a gasoline generator. It's like maybe a Generac or something on that,
Okay.
you know, that type of thing, but it's noisy. We can hear it clear over on Tulip Drive, 24/7, you know. You go to bed at night, you hear it, you wake up, you hear it. So,
Okay.
you know, I just wonder if something could be done about that.
Okay. So for the record, you're going to follow up on that too, Andrew? Okay.
Yes, I will.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will say, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
that seems to be a common, my mother has the same issue at the house behind her. I know Will's been addressing it, but they're doing the same thing on Jefferson.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, well, if Will's addressing it,
Yes, he
then,
is, yes.
I mean, what I'm going to do is follow up and
Follow
make
up
sure
on
that
this.
the building department's aware that we may have an issue with a property that's
Yeah,
Okay.
not properly hooked up to power.
yeah.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Moving on with the agenda. Approval of the agenda.
So moved.
So we have a motion
Support.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda is unfinished business, and we have none tonight. So we'll move on straight into new business with the EV charging stations. Miss Erica Cook, or Miss Erica Pruska. I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
Just because her name starts with the K, Mr. Mayor, doesn't mean that
I didn't see the R, I just seen the U, and I'm like, okay.
It's the Z.
Yeah,
The Z
yeah.
does everything else.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I'm returning to you all, as promised, from the February 25th meeting in regards to the EV chargers, if you recall. The two chargers that we want to install on 116 North Monroe at the food truck port. So included in your packet, you have the quotes, as well as, can you put up the
should be a map.
map, yeah. The chargers have moved locations. No? No?
Go up.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
There.
There we go. Second page.
So they're kind of west central. At the, it used to be at the south end, if you recall.
Okay.
We originally had talked about it being right up against Van Holt's there on the
Yeah.
south end, just from a location standpoint.
There were some
ease of-
issues
Yeah.
with having it at that location, so.
But we're still moving forward with it, right? Just
Mhm.
in a different location?
That's our hope, yes. So if you remember, we were utilizing contingency funds that were not being utilized. So it's through MEDC and through RAP, utilizing the RAP funds. Southwest Michigan First helps coordinate it. City received proposals from Swarthout Excavating in the amount of $48,395 for installation services associated with the project. The city will also utilize Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Pricing for through Rexel Energy Solutions for procurement of 2 ChargePoint CP6000 Level 2 charging stations in the amount of $27,186. And in addition to these costs, the engineering drawings required the project cost of $1,200. So combined cost for those charges, $76,781, which falls within the available RAP funds left over in that contingency fund. We also request a contingency amount of $15,356, which is 20% of the project costs to address any unforeseen conditions or additional expenses that may arise. Total budget is $92,137.
Any questions for her, for Ms. Harris?
So just I guess a couple more contextual pieces to this. So because of the way the grant runs and other things, there is a hard deadline to complete the project and paperwork by June 30th. Erica has been working very diligently to make sure all those pieces are aligned and following approval that we'll have contractors on site in line to complete that. And, you know, also be working to get that paperwork done and those types of things. However, projects are never perfect, so if there were to be something that was problematic, you know, we're anticipating that $92,000 to be reimbursed, but if we were to have major snags, that would potentially be something that would be at risk, and we want you to be aware of that. So, again, she has done everything in her power to make sure this works.
It's high reward, low risk. So
Yeah.
do with that what you will.
And so the other piece of this that's important to know is that Swarthout was the company we had to go through because they were part of the original grant. We'll actually be doing a change order for the original contract with them to do the project. We have updated insurance. This is an odd one. We don't usually like get a project done and then have to go back. So we have insurance updated through that change order. The one thing we wouldn't necessarily have in place is a bond, like a performance bond on this. However, it is a fairly small project in terms of these types of scope. As Erica alluded to, we did talk to F&V, who kind of had the original contract documents, look through, and they said for the size, of project, it's relatively low risk that something would happen where we would need a bond to complete performance. But again, that's another element of this that is somewhat different. Similarly, scaled projects that we've done independently, we typically haven't asked for bonds. We've done some smaller paving projects and things like that. We always ask for the insurance, but not necessarily a bond in that case. So want you to have kind of the full picture of it, but I know Erica's been working very, very hard to get this project across the finish line, and I think it's a positive thing for the community. So.
Okay. Commissioner Lee?
Yeah, I think this is the insurance you're talking about, like if somebody vandalized it or a car hits the accelerator instead of a brake and like.
No, that would be
That's
after the fact. The insurance policy
included in the
That is
policy
included. That
for
was
the
going to be my
charge.
question.
The bond is
The
making
charge.
sure that the contractor does the work, otherwise they pay the city the
And the
amount.
insurance that I'm
Yeah.
referring to is contractor's insurance.
Yeah.
So if their workers had some issue on site, we know that they're insured for that, and they're not going to come back on.
Gotcha. But these will be insured, like, going forward.
Yeah, we have a 5-year warranty included in this price, so.
Any other
And I've got a
questions?
question. So, is there anything that our electric department has to do? Do they have to put a different transformer? Do they have to run power down to it? Is that included in the cost?
No, we've worked with Chad, and they have a transformer that they've had sitting around that will work for us, and they've advised that they will utilize it for this project for us.
Well, there's a cost associated with that, though. It just,
We were told no.
no? Okay. I saw Chris was here. I just wondered if he would like to.
Chris, do you want to?
We have a transformer we need to hook up.
Don't be so technical on this. Could you just tell us straight out? Okay, thank you. Okay. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Any other questions?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the proposal from Swarthout Excavating LLC in the amount of $48,395 for installation services associated with the downtown EV charging station project as presented.
So we have a motion.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, before we
Yeah.
do that, I'm sorry. Would you mind amending your motion just to add and allow city manager to sign all necessary documents on that one?
Yes,
Sorry.
I just did.
Okay, so we still have a motion. Support. And support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the proposal from Rexel Energy Solutions for procurement of 2 charge points charging stations in the amount of $27,186 as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve a contingency for the downtown EV charging station project in an amount not to exceed $15,356.
Second.
So a motion and support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you, Erica.
So the electric city will have
And an
electric,
electric.
2 electric.
Yeah. Next on the agenda for a few items, but we'll start with one, is a public hearing for 2021 West Congress Street sidewalk assessment. Mr. Barry Cox.
Thank you, Mayor.
And then we'll go ahead and open the public hearing.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, City Commissioners. So yeah, this is the public hearing for 2021 West Congress Street sidewalk assessments. So back in 2021, the City Engineering Department initiated a special assessment district 2021-03 to repair sidewalks in conjunction with the West Congress Street reconstruction project. Now, ultimately, that project, when we originally created the district, it was for the entire stretch of the project, which was clear from M66 to South Clay Street. Ultimately, the project ended up getting divided into 2 parts, and those 2 parts actually took place 2 years apart from one another. So we have different costs for each phase. So the first phase, which we're calling the 2021 West Congress Street portion of this particular district, is from M66 to Prairie Avenue. So those costs have been identified for, the sidewalks have been repaired, the costs have been identified for the properties within that district that was established back on May 12th, 2021. The final proposed sidewalk repair roll is included in your packet with a final cost per square foot of sidewalk repair at $4.80 per square foot. So letters were sent out prior to this meeting to notify each property owner of this phase of the assessment district, notify them of this public hearing and of the final cost to them as well as the cost to the city. All the properties within this particular phase of this particular sidewalk assessment, the cost was lower than the original estimate that was provided to each of the property owners in that district that was originally established. So, as has been past practice, we are recommending that the cost for the roll be spread over 5 years. Residents can choose to pay the amount in whole when bills come out, whenever that may be. I don't know if it'll be August or December. And then we recommend a 5% interest charge on the remaining balance for those on an annual basis. So with that, I'll try to answer any questions you may have regarding this particular role and allow for comment.
Any questions for Barry? Any questions from the public? Okay, if there's no questions or discussions, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. What's the wish of the commission?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the 2021 West Congress Street Phase 1 portion of Special Assessment Roll number 2021-03 as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the 2021 West Congress Street Phase 1 portion of Special Assessment Roll 2021-3 costs be spread over 5 years with an interest rate of 5% charged on the remaining balance on an annual basis.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda is a public hearing for 2023 West Congress Street sidewalk assessment. Welcome back, Barry.
Thank you again, Mayor.
We'll go ahead and open the public hearing.
All right. So this is the second part of that original 2021 assessment roll, 2021-03 to repair sidewalks. This portion is the remainder of the area, which is from Prairie to South Clay. This one unfortunately was not quite as cost effective overall. A couple of reasons for that. It was 2 years removed. It was after COVID. And the pricing for the concrete portion of this particular project was much higher than anticipated. So those ultimately all affected what you see before you right now in regards to this particular project. So sidewalks did get repaired in 2023. Those costs have been identified and are in this particular portion of the district that was established on May 12, 2021. The proposed final sidewalk repair assessment roll for Phase 2 is included, and that cost per square foot was $9.99 per square foot. This assessment roll includes the 2021 owner's estimate and highlights where the final owner cost would have been higher than the owner cost estimate. The increase in the final cost estimate, the increase in the final cost versus the estimate is identified in the roll adjustment column. It's been past practice, staff is recommending some city commission charge the properties no more than the original estimated cost in cases where the final costs were higher than the estimate, as shown on the spreadsheet. Total impact of this reduction would be $331.75. On the roll, these additional costs are included in the city cost column. Letters were again sent to each of the property owners in this particular district. We are again recommending costs be spread over 5 years, but that residents can obviously pay all at once it's put on their bill with a 5% annual charge for the remaining balance. One other item in regards to this particular roll that you might find rather unusual are the last two rows. Those were two requests that were made during the project to replace or repair sidewalk or add drive that were not originally in the assessment roll. And this is how we have historically dealt with additional requests during the project, where the property owner has said, hey, I'd like to do this. It's not part of the original scope, but this is the way we can accommodate for particular residents or property owners at that particular point in time. So that is why those two particular rows are at 100% owner cost.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Yeah. Okay. Any questions for Barry? Any questions from the public?
I was here last month, and kind of condensed this down a little bit. Barry and I have had some conversations about it already. You could just grab one of those and pass it around. And we'll put 3 of them on there this time. I'm sorry. Roger Crown, Sportville, West Congress, it was my dad's building, he was the last one on the list there. We did request additional concrete. They've done a great job, so much better than what it was. It was a difficult situation. It was ugly. Barry done a great job. I really want to thank Barry for everything he's done, and I think he's done a great job. He's been very fair, knowledgeable on his job, and I do wish he had retirement when it happens. My only concern is that I think the prices are fair. I'm not even going to argue about the pricing on it, but as you can see, if you look at the difference of the concrete there, and again, Barry and I have looked at it, I don't know what to ask or what to say, but it's failing. And you can see in the top photo I have labeled number 1, we moved into the building in 1997. And so that's been almost 30 years ago. And some of our concrete that's well over 30 years that I know it's been there is in far better shape than this brand new concrete that's only 3 years old. So my concern is if I'm going to pay the money, I want to understand that I have good concrete that's going to last a long time. If it cuts to the point where it's failed, I don't think I should have to pay a second time, and I don't know what caused the problem. I don't think Barry understands what caused the problem, but I think for future use, for future reference for the city and get the most bang for our buck, somebody should take the time to explore what went wrong and why. Because if you walk down Congress Street, the gutter pan, my parking lot, and the curbs are all starting to fail already, and you can see where every piece of aggregate is like it's not like a stone, it's like it's old concrete that got mixed in somewhere along the line. If you've ever taken a bag of concrete and had it get hard on you and you bust it up trying to get it to revive itself, and it doesn't, that's what it looks like. Every rock that you see in those photos is that dark gray. So I don't know if it's limestone. It appears that it's probably absorbed water and during the winter, and when it froze, it broke. I don't know that. I mean, I'm not the scientist, but as you can see, that circle in the middle there's a quarter in the middle of that. Kind of gives you a reference as to how big the rocks and the aggregates are in there. And the upper right-hand corner of that is kind of a shot of just a small portion of my entire parking lot going down through, as well as it continues on both ways. So, again, I just hope that 5 years from now, when it completely falls apart, I don't go through this again and have another number show up on my list, because I think the numbers are good. I think this is the gutter.
Roger.
The circle, the quarter is in the gutter, and the upper right-hand picture is the gutter pan.
Roger, did you say that it's a large portion of the whole project on yours?
It's large, and it's getting bigger. And it's coming down towards you as well.
That's what I'd have to take a closer look.
Yeah, walk Congress Street and you'll see it quite frequently throughout the entire pour. So, and it might be, it could have been an isolated, one truck, I don't know.
Right.
But
Yours were done 2 years apart.
Not ours.
Same year.
Yeah, we're on the same block.
Yours lives this way?
Not that I've noticed. Like I said, I'll have to take a closer look, but.
I was dead on the corner. I had it coming from both directions.
Right.
I was on the corner of Congress and Prairie. And so
When did you start noticing this? Like immediately afterwards or just recently?
Once Barry and I talked, and he said there was going to be a special assessment on it, and so one day I was just walking and I looked down and there's dirt settled into areas, so I took a broom and I swept it up and went, wow, I mean, there's a lot of pit holes that are developing in that concrete.
Okay.
And so it's only been in the last, 6 months maybe or less that I've actually really been observant of it, because now I realize that, I'm coming up on a number here. So again, I think the city wants to get the most bang for their buck, and whoever poured that, someone should back into this and go, what went wrong and why? So that it doesn't continue to happen. If it's the aggregate, it's one thing. If it's the people that did it, it's another thing. If it's salt, it's another thing. But I think somebody should get to the bottom of why.
He's talking about curb and gutter here. That's not his responsibility anyway, so he'd never be charged for whatever he did to it.
And, well, I mean,
Some of it.
in a manner of speaking, it's all part of, obviously, the street fund, Commissioner Mullins. I mean,
But it's not like the sidewalk, if it fails 50/50, I'm saying.
well, yeah, so this is, it is our curb and, it is the city's curb and gutter. And I think Roger's expressing concern about what that means long-term in regards to what that condition of that is going to be as it continues forward. And would we have to come back and replace it more sooner than what we expected?
Right. But his concern about him being shown on another roll would not be accurate for something like that.
It is the sidewalk as well as the approach going into the warehouse.
Oh, the approach as well?
Yeah.
I'm
Not as bad.
I'm not saying it's isolated to just the gutter, curb and gutter.
Okay.
Roger's just showing you, I think, kind of the worst area that he's seen out there.
That is the worst, yeah, that is the worst, but it is getting worse. I would assume it's going to be worse next spring as well. I'll be interested to take some photographs to see what the progression is, because to me, I mean, I'm not the person in charge and don't really know concrete, but it just appears like something froze and broke. So if that rock allows the next layer of water to go down, the next thing's going to freeze and break, and it's just gonna continue to progress deeper and deeper as it goes. I'm guessing. I'll know next spring.
I think you're right, yeah.
Barry, what's the warranty when contractors do this type of work?
So typical warranty within the contract documents is 1 year.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, that, in this particular instance, if something were to have gone horribly wrong, like the immediate winter after this was all poured, this was poured, September maybe?
I'd say probably September.
Late September, probably late September,
Yeah.
early October. Rogers put out a bunch of possible causes as to what's happened here. I think all of them could be a combination thereof. It could be the, so this is a stone popping, and we have seen it at other concrete projects we have done in the city. So the biggest one that I have had is West South Street, where the surface cream on the road pops significantly. We actually had the materials expert for Michigan Concrete Association come down and talk to us about what happened, because it looked amazing. West South Street looked amazing after it got done in 2017. That road's now 9 years old. We had popping like the spring after that.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
when we came down and basically they power screeded that particular street. The weather conditions were basically perfect. It was dry, it was sunny, but it was that particular one, and I can't say what this one was. What he had explained to me was that basically power screed may have prevented air from escaping the cream top surface, so we had air pockets in the concrete that over winter were allowed to, or were able to fill with water and then freeze. And
Gotcha.
that's what blew that apart. Now, Roger is correct, this does seem to be a lot of gray stones. They do a lot of fractured aggregates nowadays. They don't put in giant, rounded stones anymore into concrete, which kind of was the methodology decades ago. So supposedly fractured type concrete or stones, it has a higher strength. What's going to happen here, I honestly can't say. I mean, I have seen this in other places. Unfortunately, it's the same thing at the roundabout. That concrete is on the surface has not performed as well as I had hoped it would. And again, another situation where it was poured like late June, early July in perfect weather. This was probably not perfect weather, and it was definitely.
I don't remember.
It's not a good result.
Okay. It does seem to be very soft too. If you take almost like your fingernail, you can scratch it. So my guess would be it's definitely not limestone, but I can't swear to that. I can guarantee if you take a screwdriver to it, you're going to get it to flake out of there.
Wow.
So it's pretty soft, whatever it is.
So given our special assessment procedures, let's just say 4 years from now, the city engineer at the time, Barry hasn't left yet, but it decides that we need to redo it. Obviously, we hold public hearings. We can decide at that time, is this something where we are going to split the costs, or are we not going to split the costs?
Gotcha.
So there's still, I don't think you can bind a future commission to what they're going to do, but at the same time, the commission will have the opportunity to hear. I mean, obviously, the city engineer at the time will make a recommendation, and then the city commission can decide.
Okay.
And I'm sure if we sent Roger a big bill coming up, he may be back here and say, didn't we talk about this? So,
Rewind the tape.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the 2023 West Congress Street Phase 2 portion of Special Assessment Rule 2021-03 is presented.
So we have a motion
Support.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Mayor, I'll.
Okay, all right, I see you, that's why I stopped.
I can't vote on that.
Oh, you can, okay, you're abstaining, okay, all right. All right, so we had a motion and support, one abstain.
Technically, you wouldn't have to abstain because you're not getting any benefit. You're paying full boat on this. The
Okay,
city's
okay.
not paying anything, but
Okay.
if you would feel better to abstain, you're more than welcome to abstain, Commissioner Boring. Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the 2023 West Congress Street Phase 2 portion of Special Assessment Roll 2021-03. Cost to be spread over 5 years with an interest rate of 5% charged on the remaining balance on an annual basis.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda is a public hearing for St. Joseph Street, new sidewalk assessment. Barry? We'll go ahead and open the public hearing.
All right, thank you, Mayor. So this particular agenda item tonight is for a more recent sidewalk repair, which is kind of what we would prefer to do than wait 4 or 5 years. So this was initiated sidewalk special assessment district number 2025-01, and this was to build new sidewalks in conjunction with the St. Joseph Street reconstruction project that was done last year. This district was established on April 9th of 2025 by the City Commission. New sidewalks has been built. Costs have been identified for the properties within the district. The proposed final sidewalk assessment roll is included in your packet with a cost of $8.38 per square foot. Letter was sent to each of the property owners identifying them of this public hearing and the final as-built cost. All properties, for all the properties, the final cost was below the estimated cost provided when the district was originally established last year. With that, I'd be happy to allow anybody else public comment.
Any questions for Barry? Any questions from the public? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing.
Any
Mr.
additional
Mayor?
questions? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Bill. Did you have something?
I have nothing else.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve Special Assessment Roll 2025-01 is presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve that the Special Assessment Roll 2025-01 cost be spread over 5 years with an interest rate of 5% charged on the remaining balance on an annual basis.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And one more, Barry. We got a public hearing for St. Joseph Street sidewalk repair assessment.
Thank you again, Mayor.
So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing.
Very good. So this was the special sidewalk special assessment district 2025-02 for repair of sidewalks on St. Joseph Street in conjunction with the reconstruction project. Those sidewalks have been repaired. The costs are identified for the properties within the roll that you see before you. And they were established at the April 9th, 2025 City Commission meeting. Proposed final sidewalk repair assessment roll is included in your packet with a final cost of $9.14 per square foot. Letter went out to each of the residents, property owners in the district, notifying them of this public hearing and the final as-built cost. And all of the properties within this district, the final cost was below the estimated cost provided when the district was established last year.
Okay. Any questions for Barry? Any questions from the public? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve Special Assessment Roll 2025-02 is presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve that the Special Assessment Roll 2025-02 costs be spread over 5 years with an interest rate of 5% charged on the remaining balance on an annual basis.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you very much for your time.
Next on the agenda is the wastewater treatment plant SCADA server upgrade. Mr. Brandon Schrader, welcome tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners. Included in the fiscal year 2026 capital budget was the wastewater SCADA system replacement server in the amount of $50,000. In 2019, the wastewater treatment plant went through a system upgrade, or an upgrade to their control system used for monitoring and automation at the plant. Upgrades include PLC hardware, programming servers, and computers. Current SCADA server is running on Windows 2016 with extended support ending in January 2027. We're looking for the upgrades to maintain system security and reliability moving into the future. Staff reached out to Donahue and Associates. They were the system integrators back in 2019 and are familiar with the system and the needs. And they have history. They have also since 2019 served in a consultant role. They provide professional services as needed. So Donahue provided staff with engineering service agreement for the upgrade in the amount of $50,000. A copy of that service agreement is in your packet. Included in this agreement is providing a new physical server, configuration, installation of SCADA software, transferring existing software and database, and providing a new PC, and upgrading PLC firmware. We're also requesting a contingency for this project of 10% in the amount of $5,000. Any questions?
Any questions for Brandon?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the engineering services agreement wastewater SCADA server upgrade project from Donahue and Associates, Inc. in the amount of $50,000 as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Andrew, we don't need city manager signature?
I don't think we need
Okay.
on this one.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve a 10% contingency for the wastewater SCADA server upgrade project in the amount of $5,000 as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Moving on with commissioner and staff comments. We'll start over with this thing.
I just challenge y'all to keep thinking about, our budget conversations and what your goals are for the future and how we implement those into the budget.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mr. Rhodes, you got anything?
Sure. So I sent an email out explaining that contacted the 4 individuals that were requested by the City Commission. 3 of them have prior commitments and are unable to. Doug Terry did respond with interest and availability. In addition to that, Vincent Pastu is currently serving as the interim, which is why he can't serve here, at Charlotte. The previous sitting manager there, he contacted him and told him that we were looking, and so Rob Hilliard spoke to him briefly, and he expressed interest. So I forwarded that resume to you, and so at this point you would have to decide if you would like to, how to proceed. Would you like to simply go with talking to Mr. Terry, who you previously said, or would you like to include Mr. Hilliard in a discussion as well? So
Include both.
okay.
Yeah, I like both.
So would you like to hold those interviews prior to the City Commission meeting on the 22nd?
Yes.
Okay, so
Will we have a work?
We'll make sure we
Okay.
get all elements that are needed.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
okay, so
All right.
I assume we'll be starting at 5, but I would anticipate a half hour for each. I sent you just a copy of the questions that we used in, from a few years ago when after Mike Hughes left. But obviously, if you've got other questions, those can be an option.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Well, I'll let them know. And I assume your preference is that they are actually here. I mean,
Preferably.
yeah, and I'll explain that is the preference and let
Okay.
you know if for some reason they can't be here. But they didn't you know, I've alerted them that this is probably going to be our path, so I think they'll be able to make time.
Okay,
Okay, thanks.
thank you. Barry, you got anything? Chris?
Just projects still continuing to move forward, construction down, state line substation that's ongoing. I will say as an update today, with the generation project, another step forward would be the permit to install from the MDEQ. So the permit is in place for those units. Still working on the EPC contract with the attorney and CAC to try to finalize that during that few months.
Okay. Sir, in the orange shirt, I think you're a city employee, but I don't remember your name.
Patrick?
Patrick. You got anything?
No.
Okay. Brandon?
Nothing.
No? Director Naz?
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Kiss? Anything from the media? No? TJ?
Just brief follow-up. I would anticipate, the last meeting, the commission authorized Miller and Johnson through my office. Miller and Johnson's been engaged to do the investigation. I've been in contact. They've been in contact with my office. I anticipate in the next couple of weeks, scheduled interviews with whoever they feel appropriate to interview, and I've made my office available for those, so it'll be coordinated through my office. So if anything comes up, questions, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. If you do get a call, don't understand it, you can call me, and we'll try to put you in contact. So just wanted to give you an update on that, and that's all I have.
Andrew?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Wanted to mention, we do have a meeting up in Centerville tomorrow for the drawdown of the Sturgis Dam. That was something that was required of us by FERC. Right now, we're targeting July 6th to begin that drawdown, pending any other changes. But the meeting will be tomorrow at the St. Joseph Corrections Building Training Center at 602 East Main Street, Centerville, Michigan, starting at 5 p.m. So we'll be there to talk a little bit about the drawdown, what that looks like, and moving forward. Anything you want to add to that, Chris? No. Okay. All right. The second thing I had, Barry's last day is coming up June 19th. So this is his last city commission meeting with us. And he got all his sidewalk special assessments in before, under the wire, so. So we're gonna miss Barry quite a bit. We are excited to have Patrick with us, and I know he's been working with Barry and getting himself up to speed, so we look for a smooth continuation there.
Any final words, Barry?
I was gonna say, I'm not thinking this is his last meeting. It just might be his last meeting as a city employee, so.
I think that's a safe bet.
Well, congratulations, Barry. Commissioner Apps?
Just congratulations, Barry. No doubt you will be missed. Nothing.
Commissioner Barr?
I agree. Congratulations, and you've been a good asset.
Commissioner Wood?
Just thank you, Barry. You left some big holes to fill, so.
Commissioner Miller?
I echo all those comments. Thank you, Barry, for your service. I wish you a good and fulfilling retirement, and your level of knowledge does not go unnoticed, and I appreciate what that has brought to the city over many, many years. Thank you.
Again, thanks, Barry. We'll see you around town, I'm sure.
Commissioner Swin?
Sorry.
Oh.
Also, I wanted to ask, have we finished our documentation for the FOIA requests?
Which one?
Both of them.
We have 4 of them out there that we're working on, so.
4?
Yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, we've finally got all the documentation compiled. I met with Ken this afternoon in my office for several hours, reviewing them. And I think a couple are probably gonna be ready to go out real soon. A couple more, I think, are going to need some redacting due to information that is not disclosable under the act, so that'll take a little bit more time, but yeah.
Okay. My other question is with the investigation, Miller Johnson is paid by the city to do the negotiations for unions, are they not? So therefore, they're tied in with the city. I believe that our investigation was agreed upon that would be an outside source.
It's an outside attorney, it's a different department within them, so this is a service that they do provide and other large firms provide for their clients, that they will bring an attorney in who doesn't have any contact or access to that file.
Okay.
And so that's what it's a good question though, Commissioner Burr, it really is. So yeah, that person is somebody who they use for these purposes who doesn't work on our file. I've never met the individual to know who he was until,
Okay.
so yeah, no, it's a good question though, very good
Right.
question.
Well, again, just want to be sure
Yep.
that, you know, everyone's upfront about everything,
So I mean, our initial point of contact that I had was with our employment attorney that we do utilize. However, they, to that point, said I would not get involved nor feel comfortable using anybody that we use for our negotiations. We'll bring somebody from a different
Right.
department.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Stein?
Thank you, Barry. It's been fun working with you. I enjoyed it and never cease to amaze me with what you know. When I ask, I get to stump you. So, thank you. And tomorrow is German Chocolate Cake Day. Did you ever wonder if in Germany they just call it chocolate cake? Like Brazil nuts or just nuts in Brazil? Okay. Who knows? That's it.
Vice Mayor?
Barry, thank you. Thank you for your years and years of service. And piggyback on Marv, your knowledge is incredible. And he seems to think that you have all the answers for everything, but he doesn't know what he doesn't know. So you could have been filling him up with a bunch of crap for all these years, right? Just so you're aware of that.
Oh, never ask a question if you don't know the answer first.
Barry's always going to give you an answer. I'd love before you leave to give us the rundown on your, if you come to the next meeting, possibly, because tonight we don't want to take the time, but rundown of the total number of streets and miles, the underground piping, how many linear feet we have, as well as the number of streets, boulevards, avenues, drives, circles, and those kinds of things. I know you have those all. Boulevards. Yes, all of it. So, anyway, thank you for your time here at the city. You're going to be missed. But I know you'll be around, so Patrick will have you to lean on for quite some time, I'm quite sure. So, good luck, Patrick.
Yeah.
I was going to ask a couple of things that Commissioner Byrd touched on as well, but another one that I was concerned with was a resident that came forward with a concern last meeting about embezzlement, accusations, I guess, at this time, maybe not charges, but at the Doyle Center. I have since heard someone pointing me in the direction of a Facebook post where that individual had said that they had contacted law enforcement and there were going to be no charges filed. I thought that was still ongoing. Has that been closed now, or?
No. I mean, I can tell you the process
Yes.
would be investigation is completed by law enforcement. Once law enforcement completes their full investigation, they turn around and submit their findings to the local prosecuting authority. The prosecutor's office makes determination whether or not charges are brought. So the idea that say, oh, we're not pressing charges, my experience has been in 20 years in the county plus, that law enforcement will send the complaint and all of the documentation to the prosecutor's office, and those decisions are made by the county prosecutor, not by local authorities here.
So has that determination been made by the prosecutor?
I don't believe the investigation is fully completed yet.
Okay,
So
we're right back to where we
Yeah.
were. All right. I just,
still ongoing.
I was out there,
Yep.
I had a couple of people contact me and ask me questions about that, and I'm like, well, as far as I know, it's
Me
still
either.
ongoing, and nothing's been determined yet, so.
Unless I'm
glad I was
mistaken.
right.
You're correct.
Okay.
Good.
Ongoing investigation.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
And even after it gets sent up, so even if they had it completed, I can tell you that you could submit a document in an embezzlement cases or any case dealing with a lot of paperwork or numbers, it could sit for a little bit of time while the prosecutor's office digests and has to map out. They have to get a comfort level and understanding of what is there. So that could take some time as well. So just because it gets done here and sent, it could take a little bit of time before any decisions are made at that level as well.
Okay, great. I'm just glad to have that on the record, then, that it's still ongoing and hasn't been presented to the prosecutor's office. That's the way I understand it.
Okay.
Yes, okay. And other things were brought up about local law enforcement investigating that. Is that a conflict at all?
I don't believe it would be a conflict. Ultimately, generally law enforcement, if they feel they have a conflict, they would send it out to an outside source if they felt it was something they were unable or in a bad position, not in a good position to handle. So generally, it's up to them to decide whether or not they're going to handle the investigation or not. And so I don't find this to be outside the norm to have it investigated by the local department.
Okay, it was just brought to my attention about that, city employee investigating potentially other city employees, kind of like that, whether it be law enforcement or not. That being the case, and that's why I wanted to make sure I asked the question before then.
Sure, and at that level, I don't see it as being a conflict. It'd be no different than a traffic stop or any type of other type of investigation in which they're handling. You wouldn't expect them to call somebody else on a lot of different avenues. Sure, certain levels you might, but not on this.
I agree. I just wanted to make sure I asked the question.
No, it's a good question.
Thank you. And to back up to the investigation portion, I just want to say that I'm glad that this process is moving forward. It's something that needs to be done. I'm glad that all of our city commissioners and whoever else might have been asked to provide any information has done so, and that's being moved forward. Not only that, but with the FOIA, I guess, as well, they kind of tie hand in hand together. So all the cooperation that's been done by everybody here is appreciated by Ken and by PJ. So we'll just see where this thing leads. I think that's all I really had to say tonight, except for this. Life isn't about being rich or being popular or being highly educated. Life is about being real, being humble, and being kind. So let's all be kind.
Barry, I echo the same thing what the commission said about you. You're going to be missed. I hope to be seeing you around. Hope you come to meetings in the future. Last week I had an interesting invite to go participate with the UAW 2093 in Three Rivers to walk the picket line with the American Axle employees. Just listening to what they had to say about their contract, just for me, it was kind of it was pretty interesting to hear. I think everyone deserves a fair way at life, to live the American way with a fair wage. But that's just my 2 cents on that. I wish them the very best. I do plan to go out there and support them as well in the next couple of days to come. And with that, we have
closed session.
And with that, we have closed session.
Yep.
So
I move we go into closed session for the purpose of reviewing union negotiations.
Second.
Commissioner Burr.
Yes.
Commissioner Boring.
Yes.
Commissioner Wiki.
Yes.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes.
Commissioner Abs.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins.
Yes.
Mayor Perez.
yes.
We're in closed session.